Hey folks, welcome back to another Dice Tower preview. I'm Mark, and today we're taking a look at Euthia Fierce Powers. Euthia is brought to you by Die Games. It's for 1 to 4 players, ages 14 and up, and games generally run anywhere from 60 to 480 minutes. The base game for Euthia, which is Torment of Resurrection, is an open-world sandbox RPG strategy for 1 to 4 players that can be played competitively, cooperatively, or solo. You'll choose from one of 6 heroes with different playstyles and unique ability trees and embark on a wide range of epic fantasy adventures through infinite replayable scenarios, wandering through an expanding open world generated by modular map tiles that will be different every time you play. Discover areas that you can fight monsters, gather resources, trade with merchants, pursue side quests, and confront elemental powers. Your actions grant you reputation and wealth, so you can develop your hero by unlocking new abilities and customizing your equipment. But today, we are focusing on what's new in the Fierce Powers expansion. In this expansion, you'll confront dark forces tormenting the land in new scenarios with unique mechanics to exploit and challenges to overcome. A new hero, Eltrea, joins the battle accompanied by her loyal pets, who she controls using her powers. The expansion further enhances the variety and gameplay options of the core game, with extra monsters, more modular map tiles, additional type of elementals, and new abilities for each of the 6 core game heroes. So join me and let's take a closer look at what's new in this expansion. So, like I said, we're just taking a look at what's new in this expansion, but if you want more information about how the base game plays, you can check out my preview from that, and along with so many other fantastic videos out there. There's been a lot of videos created at this point, some nice rules videos and things of that nature, but here I just want to give you a show and tell of what's new on the table. So, most of what you see here can be swapped into the base game. However, there are some scenario-specific things that you have to be mindful of that you'll have to use only in those scenarios. But in general, you can have monsters, the new hero, all kinds of new tiles. These tiles are going to enhance a lot of the world as it builds out. And what's nice here is that you have trade areas where before you'd have to battle in order to trade, but now they're already liberated. So you can now get equipment right away and so forth. And then there's a new type of reward for fighting monsters, which are gems. And there are also some corrupted elementals, which will cause you some negatives when you go into battle, things like that, affecting your dice rolls in general. And of course, there's a whole series of new miniatures and monsters. I mean, these are incredible, especially for a prototype. I am fairly blown away. Usually they're pretty rough what I get, but these look done. I mean, they are so beautiful. I love the woolly mammoth and the hydra. You've got various monsters, of course, and buildings, and then of course dragons, griffin. I really love what they've done here with these miniatures. They look like they have been dry brushed already, ready to play, and I'm not a painter, so I love that they're going this route. It really has a nice finish to them. You have obviously your new hero, and you have new baddies. So, and of course standees if you're not going to go after the miniatures. But the thing is that they add so much to the game. They're beautiful. Now, probably my favorite aspect of this whole expansion is this new hero, Eltrea. I hope I'm saying the name right, but she is awesome. She has all kinds of powers to control these familiars or animals that she has aspect to, and they all have their own board that you're going to be using them on. And at setup time, you have to pick their alignment. Each of these are going to have 2 sides. So you can pick the leaf or the moon. They have different unique abilities based on which you use. I love the wolf, really cool. But through the course of the game, you can summon different familiars as one of your powers, or you can just command them, move them around the board, use their special abilities to help you and aid you in your quest. So along with her new abilities and powers that she brings to the game, she also brings with her from this expansion more tiles and abilities for the old or the base level characters. Now, all those characters, you're going to be able to take these new tiles and abilities basically and choose between how you want to start. Now, you have some options, and a lot of these new ones are going to be low level, so you have optimal chance of using them through the course of the quest and how you're playing the game. Now, what this also does is it adds tons of replayability and all kinds of new combinations of abilities and powers. And that's one of the things about this game in general, that you can really customize your character and how it plays and all the powers it has. And it really does remind me, I think I said this in my other video, but it brings to mind the Diablo video game, and that's what it reminds me of greatly. And that's one of my favorite video games, and this really truly makes me feel I'm playing like a tabletop version of Diablo. And of course, there's new scenarios. There's 4 new scenarios that completely change gameplay. So first and foremost, I got to experience Rise of the Soul Reaper. They begged for his aid, they did his bidding, they forged a cursed alliance in a desperate trade-off to banish the most ruthless of dragons, and the price they paid was way too high. So your goal here is to destroy the corrupted barrier and defeat the Soul Reaper, a vile necromancer, before the end of round 8. So he has new minion cards, Expel, Tower, and cards that directly related to the Soul Reaper himself. You know, I got a small taste of this scenario. Things did not go well for me, but I can't wait to try again. But you know what? There are 3 other scenarios, which I haven't tried, but I can't wait to try them. But let me give you a quick look at them. You've got Headhunting, which is a vicious Hydra. I love that miniature. This vicious Hydra awakens from a deep slumber, only to devour everything in its sight, growing in power every time it feeds its ever-hungry heads. The only salvation is to keep relentlessly chopping off its heads in a desperate race to end the feast before it becomes too strong to be stopped. And then we have the Fog of Necromancy. The land has been shrouded in dark, impenetrable fog and renders exploration impossible. Heroes must seek clues in menacing towers, which will, after a series of trials, surrender artifacts allowing them to venture deeper into the mist to find the cause of this horrid curse. I really want to try all of these. They really sound really fun. But the thing is, we have finally Arcane Dimensions, which again, super intriguing. The ancient towers looming over the horizon conceal portals to arcane dimensions, begging you to uncover their secrets. But beware, these dimensions are highly unstable and can collapse at any moment. And the thing about all these scenarios, at least the taste that I got from one, is just all the new things that come with it and all the new abilities of the baddie, the main baddie you have to fight. I can't wait to fight the Hydra. That sounds amazing. So those scenarios are going to add a ton more gameplay and questing for all the adventurers. So again, this has just been a brief look at everything in this new Fierce Powers expansion, but they have a couple other things to take note of in the campaign. And first off, we have the Crawling Shadows expansion. Now, I haven't experienced this, but it was developed based on the feedback that they received from a huge solo community. You know, I've not actually played the game solo, so I would love to try this now after seeing some of this. But that means this expansion is going to focus on adding extra elements and content for solo and cooperative gameplay modes, which is very cool because I love cooperative games. Also worth mentioning here, the campaign will include other community requested items such as dual layer boards, which I can't wait for because dual layer boards is one of the things that I love most in organizing and maintaining characters in games and so forth. So that is something I'm really looking forward to. And they're going to have a card organizer, which consists of 2 stackable cardboard towers and a magnetic leather card box. So they really are listening to the folks that are playing this game, and they're trying to just make more better content for this system. All right, folks, just a reminder once again, this has been a Dice Tower paid preview, and everything you've seen here has been in prototype form, so keep a close eye on the campaign for any changes that still may occur. Now, I know I didn't get into the nitty-gritty of gameplay, and I encourage you again to go look at some of those more detailed how-to-play videos, including my original preview, which dives into the game quite a bit deeper. This has just been more of a show and tell, and I can't wait to play all those other scenarios. But again, these miniatures, as I was saying before, the look that they have, they call this a sun drop look. It does feel like it's kind of a dry brush look to me, and I love the finish on these. Again, for someone like me who does not paint miniatures, this is something fantastic that just sets them apart. And everyone I've shown these to have just been blown away by how they look. But again, I can't wait to play those scenarios, specifically for the Hydra. That one sounds amazing. And really, I think my #1 favorite thing is this new hero, and using those familiars and all her new abilities just really really cool. This is probably going to be my go-to hero from now on. But folks, ultimately, if this looks like something of interest to you, I'm sure they'd appreciate your support. So I think that's it for me, and until next time, we'll see you at the table.